What in the world is going on at Naughty Dog? Oh my goodness. What's going on, you guys? James here with some real breaking news, and this happened overnight, so based on when you're seeing this video, you might have already heard about the news, but we're going to talk all about some major leaks from The Last of Us Part 2. It does not spell anything good for Naughty Dog. This is bad. But before we dive into the news, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now if you're wondering who that is, that's me. And I love talking all about movies and sometimes video games. So if you like what you hear and what you see, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tap on the notification bell right next to it just to stay up to date with breaking news just like this. If you missed it yesterday, I dropped my review of The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary on ESPN. Episodes 3 and 4 are insanely good, so you're going to want to see the review in the description below. There's a poll right at the top of the screen that's going to ask you if you're still excited for The Last of Us Part 2, and yes, I want to know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. No spoilers, we're not talking about anything that could potentially ruin The Last of Us Part 2 for you or for myself, because yes, I love the first game a lot and I'm looking forward to the second. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. About 24 days ago, 25, The Last of Us Part 2 was indefinitely delayed. Now that was preceded by another delay, so this game has been delayed a couple of times and now it's in limbo, and we don't necessarily know when it's going to come out, if it'll come out at all this year for the PlayStation 5 or if it'll just wait until next year. I get why Naughty Dog delayed it, however, this is going to put things on probably a longer hold. If you haven't heard, overnight, a disgruntled employee, according to several reports on R Games on Reddit and Super Metal Dave 64 on Twitter, said that a disgruntled employee who didn't really get, I guess, paid, or there was a payment dispute, leaked on YouTube a ton of very, very important cutscenes that have unfortunately ruined the game for probably several hundreds of gamers that for some reason wanted to know what happened in The Last of Us Part 2 before its official release. That's a bummer. And not only that, what really stinks is that apparently there was one scene that was spoiled that was supposed to hit you in the gut, according to a Reddit user, and yeah, that's not good at all for Naughty Dog, because you have to imagine they're going back to the drawing board again and thinking, okay, the reception is not positive at all. Maybe we need to switch things up. And it's probably true. If many gamers are not happy with the story, I saw one user say that they're so happy this leaker saved them $60. That's pretty bad, because The Last of Us Part 1 is not only critically acclaimed, but it's one of the most cinematic and beautiful stories that I've seen in a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, they nailed it. Naughty Dog did a great job, but unfortunately, Naughty Dog has been, from what some are saying, forcing their employees to undergo a ton of crunch time. And crunch, if you don't know what that is basically employees being forced to work overtime to meet deadlines, and that's a little tough. The game being indefinitely delayed, however, probably, or I would hope, would free up some time for these developers. The only thing is, the game is indefinitely delayed and then this leak happens, can probably expect The Last of Us Part 2 next year. I don't see the game coming out at all this year now that this happened, because they're gonna have to go back, like I said, and redo so much of the game. And I think that, to me, there are some instances, yes, where people leak things without the developer or the publisher knowing, and sometimes I can honestly tell you that it is a little planned because they want to get some of the public's reception before the official release. But in this instance, there was no smoke before this leak happened. It just came about, and unfortunately it was such a big surprise to many gamers, and I'd imagine it was a big surprise to Naughty Dog too. This is a shame. I mean, for a studio that is as heralded as Naughty Dog, for a leak of this magnitude to happen is a big deal. Now again, I didn't see any of the cutscenes, and I'm actually going to stop researching anything about this because I'm afraid there's going to be that one person to comment with a huge spoiler and it'll ruin the game for me. But yeah, this is not going to be good for The Last of Us Part 2, and I'm really hoping that things will turn around and the game will actually end up being amazing. But I'm also hoping that employees get treated properly, because if it is true that there's a payment dispute of an employee working really hard and not getting paid properly, That's a big issue at Naughty Dog. So I'm hoping things kind of turn around and everything works out for the best for both sides. And as gamers, as an audience, I want to see the best possible result. So yes, if the game needs to be delayed for a while, let it be. I guess I'll just have to go catch up on a few games that I've been wanting to play, and I have a little bit of time now that we're stuck inside. So you guys, again, in the comments, let me know what you think of the big, massive leak for The Last of Us Part 2. Are you upset that these leaks happen, or are you okay with it because now it gives Naughty Dog some time to go back and refine the game? Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with all your friends who love The Last of Us, just like me. And you guys, a huge thank you to everyone that's been subscribing to the channel. Since we hit 1,000 last week, we're almost to 1,100 subscribers. That's huge. I love you guys. Go ahead and check me out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and there's some, conversations that we'll have about this, I'm sure. Alrighty, again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.